Then we had Vishal's presentation, where it's an imagination, dreaming, and because if you don't dream, things doesn't materialize. And the reason I'm passing on these phrases are because it's relevant to the company I'm present in BPC with its history. So I'm just gonna go a little bit about the history of BPC and our generating, operating businesses, companies, then the group businesses that we have, and the current projects that we are launching. So BPC has been a key player in the hydropower sector in Nepal since last 50 years. So this is our golden jubilee actually. So, and it has like vertically integrated portfolios in generation and distribution, manufacturing, electromechanical and hydromechanical parts, then engineering and consultancies, and also hydraulic model testing. And similarly, it has an operational track record, as it has been in the business since 50 years, in the power plant operation, as well as distribution, by the way. We are the only company, apart from NEA, who have been doing the electricity distribution at the rural scale. In '93, when there was a wave of privatization was going on, so this, with the agreement with the UMN, was that the whole assets had to be turned over to the government of Nepal. So BPC was handed over to the government. So government had two utilities, NEA, its own, and then we had BPC as well. But then, as I said, there was a privatization wave going on, so finally they decided to privatize BPC, sell it off. So then the newcomer, and they ran almost for a decade, and there was a lot of delay process in the privatizing. So then the newcomer, I think they sold 75% of the shares to the private, and it was Shamila Energy Limited with the business corporate houses of Kathmandu. They grouped together and they bid for the highest for this company, together with the Norwegian management company with a small stake. And further on, there was a sale of the further shares to the public and employees. But still, government owns about 10% of the share in BPC, together with NEA and IBC, a small percentage. So that's on the ownership and management and picture on the left. But now if I go back on the picture on the right, you can see the generation addition capacity. It started with, as I said, a Tinau project, a very small project, and it took almost like more than 10 years, and they didn't build it 1 megawatt right away. Okay, some snapshots. This is where I was mentioning about the environmental social impact assessment. A lot of stakeholder interaction, a lot of preparation, to the point where at one point there was one of the key board member from the World Bank who, from social anthropology background, who visited to the site to make sure, because World Bank, they were here in Nepal for Arun 3, and for various reasons, I don't want to name, they had to pull out, and they're coming back into hydro in a very small scale into this project, and they want to make sure that whatever they're doing, the investment into this project are well taken care of, from technically, financially, environmentally, and socially. So when there was a number of visits on the from the bank side, it went to the point when the stakeholder had mentioned, okay, we've heard a lot about that, a lot of talking, we need action, come and build it. So that was kind of the message. So the slide number 2 mentions the hydraulic model. This is where we make sure that technically whatever has been designed is kind of properly functions well after the construction and also during the operation.
I have the honor to introduce you Ginendra Lau Pradhan, who's the Executive Chairman of Federation of Nepal's Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who is also serving as CACCI Asian Council on Water, Energy and Environment, and also serving the SARC CTI Council on Climate Change, Energy and Water Resources. He's also the advisor of the Independent Power Producers Association in Nepal, which is known as IPEN. He's a member of FNCCI, CII Joint Economic Council and Electricity Tariff Fixation Commission, and ex-member of Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council. He also got bunches of awards, which I was about to mention only two, like Best Managers of Men and also Hydro Entrepreneur Awards and many others. So let's give a big hand to Mr. Pradhan.
Thank you. Actually, you just heard about BBC. Actually, I was part of BBC team. BBC, one of the management team from 2000 to 2010. I left BBC. Thanks to Pratik, taking care of BBC nicely. It's growing very fast. We had lots of ups and downs when I was in BBC. When we got this 6-9% stake from government, it took us about 4 years to get that contract, that stock from the government. It was very hard time. And Maoists, they blasted our power station. And we were almost on the street. Everybody teasing me, Mr. Pradhan, hydropower is like this. So we should never do hydropower. That was the concept, let's say. When we first published, let's say, stock in BBC, no one was ready to buy it. First call, second call, third call. So we decided to buy ourselves. So that was the condition. But today we have Vijay Mansas, my respected brother. His stock is almost 20 times sold by this evening. 20 times. So things are changing very fast in Nepal. So this is the right time to come to Nepal actually. So when you say hydropower, we always take hydropower as electricity. It's totally wrong. It's totally wrong. Hydropower is water power and hydropower is electrical energy power. Water we need for human sanitation, we need small. So it's very easy to manage for sanitation, for health. But for food security, we need lots of water. And you have land, something like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, in South Asia. Water value is much bigger than electricity value. Electricity is possible from any other resources. It's possible, I don't have to mention. But if you see water, specific for food security, without this clean water, food security is impossible. I can see the USA very much smart how to manage water. And I can see water power is much bigger than electrical power in hydropower in case of Nepal now. And it's going to be more stronger in future. If you see the electricity possibilities potential, solar is the biggest. You can see the big yellow. Second is coal, third is uranium, petroleum, natural gases, wind, hydro. And how much we are consuming is very small, the globe, no? 2010 energy data. So we have huge resources of energy available. And we hardly use very small percentage today. Solar is the biggest. But the problem with solar is that all these developed countries like USA or even Germany, even China, very fast developing, they use all their hydropower first. And they came to solar as a second option. But we sometimes mislead and we try to go as a truck, we try to jump. And the biggest problem for solar in Nepal is that we can go quickly, but our system is not allowing us. And the biggest problem is the land. We have a small land area country. Like India, solar is very good because they have huge land mass for that. They are planning for 100 gigawatt. And the second is, government is not very strong to give big subsidies. Today, till now, solar is all subsidies, subsidy based. And you can see how about 100 years old plant generating the electricity at 1.5 rupees. It's 1.5 cents, less than 1.5 cents. Something with India, Koshi Barrage or Triveni Kanal Barrage. Somebody say Koshi Barrage was a very bad treaty. No. Nepal and India did the best treaty in Koshi Barrage. Nepal got 100% water right. This is the only treaty between two countries where you have the 100% water right. There is no other treaty in the world. So this is one of the best, let's say, treaty. But all this barrage, not for Nepal's benefit, it's more for Indian benefit. regarding water. But regarding other flood control, this and that, Nepal also getting some benefit. Now we are looking for Budi Gandaki 1200 megawatt. This is peak power project. And you can see in Budi Gandaki, the turbine flow is in the mid color and the peak is like this. So this dam can store so much water. Only 2 months we have little bit surplus from the, let's say, spill, from the spill. Otherwise, almost whole year water we can store in one dam. And this 1.2 million kitchen will have electricity for cooking food morning and evening. So our dependency on India on gas imports will be reduced by 1.2 million kitchen. That's great. We need similar 6-7 projects, but we are doing one right now. And some people get confusion that when you build very high dam, you need a regulating dam. It's totally wrong. We must go to China to understand what China is doing. They keep different size of turbine, and what they do, they use one turbine continuously 24 hours to regulate the water. Here we are thinking, okay, let's build very dam, and we never close the dam 100%. No, some turbine will be running and some water will be going down. So we never need the regulating dam. Regulating the dam is still regulating. No, you build such a huge 260. How much? I don't know. 63 million dam. This is one of the highest dam in the world. And why you need regulating dam to control the water? You run one turbine, little water will go. You run 2 turbines, more water will go. So you can regulate 2 turbine flow very easily. We are looking for one more big project. Past 18 years we were talking, but with a new government in India and Nepal, Modi, I believe this project will go fast forward. This Pancheshwar, it was 6,400 megawatt. This is a border in the western Nepal, but now it's 5,000 already finalized. There will be 2 power stations, 2,500 in Nepal side, 2,500 in India side. But India is getting lots of big benefit from this project. Actually, if you see north-west India, there is no water. The Ganges and the Bhagirath, it's already consumed, 100% consumed. So in Delhi, there is no water. And this time, we have seen in Indian TV that 330 million people were without water. Many village people left village because there was no water during dry months. No? The train was carrying water to supply to the villages. That's the situation. That's why I call water power is much bigger than the electrical power and hydropower in our countries, in future, in today. This project will irrigate, let's say, about 1.6 million hectares of land in India, but maybe 100,000 hectares in Nepal because we have very small land mass. This water will go to Upper Ganga. From Upper Ganga, India is planning to take it to Yamuna, to Delhi, to Rajasthan, and to Gujarat. So this water can reach up to Gujarat, but it will take a total project. Maybe I am very hopeful within the next 2 years this project will pick up.
I can open the floor for one question. So if any of us have one question for Mr. Pradhan. Do I see any hands here?
Satisfied. Thank you.
Alright, so let's give another round of applause. So next, there's a bit of a change of the schedule. So we would like to, I would like to introduce you Dr. Mahavir Pun, who's with the Ramon Magsaysay, right? Is that how to pronounce it? So I'm so sorry, I have to learn new language. Ramon Magsaysay Award winner, National Innovation Center. So let's give a big hand to Dr.
social worker, and because I have not done anything, I am not expert in the energy sector, I have not done anything in the energy sector except I have installed some small hydropower stations and solar power system in the rural areas, in the schools, in the clinics, and in the water network system that I have been building in the rural areas of Nepal. So it's my honor to be here I am a visionary person, and the visionary person are most of the time crazy and stupid. I'm one of them, and I do things in the communities, and I work with the communities for the development of the communities, and all the things that we do in the communities are sustainable. They have to be sustainable, because if the things that we do are not sustainable, and it's a waste of energy, waste of time, and a waste of money. And whatever we do, our focus is to create jobs and incomes for the people in the rural areas of Nepal. So let me explain. I mean, for those many of those Nepalese people who know me, they already know what I am doing. But those people who are new guests here from other countries, you might not know what I am doing in Nepal. So very briefly, in 2-3 minutes, I will show you what I have been doing in Nepal. So the first thing I am doing is building sustainable community schools and clinics in the rural areas, because it's the need. And the government does not provide enough funding to run all these schools and the clinics in the rural areas. The community have to find money to run them. So for that, we run different kind of community development projects in the rural areas, and I will show just some of these pictures, because the pictures speak. I don't have time to explain all of these things for you. These are the several community development projects that we are doing and making some money, generating some money, getting some job opportunities for the people there in the rural areas. Second thing I'm involved in is creating sustainable nature conservation program. We are working for the last 18 years in the mountains of Nepal, planting trees. In the last 18 years, we have planted more than 1 million trees in the mountains. So that's what we do, and this is what we do with the communities. The third thing we are doing is, with my team, is building sustainable rural broadband wireless network. We started this project in 2002, and we're still doing it. And the goal of this project is to use the technology for helping to improve the quality of education in the rural areas, and to help the people to get some basic health services through telemedicine, and increase the digital literacy among the rural people. So just an example. These are some of the pictures, very quickly, that I want to show, that can explain you how we are building wireless network in the rural areas and bringing internet, broadband internet in the rural areas. The fourth thing that we are doing in the rural areas, the community, is running community-based ecotourism program. We have built 5 days and 10 days trekking routes, and along the routes, we have built lodges for the trekkers, and we have built homestay places for the people, and there all these programs are run by the communities. And if you are interested, you can contact me. I will have to go after that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Very encouraging presentation, and I kindly request that any of the developers who will be interested in funding this project. He's Dr. Prince's ideas, so hopefully there's some discussions afterwards. And now let's go through to the next session. It's going to be presented by Mr. Satish Joshi with the Investment Board of Nepal, and he will share his ideas share with the audience on how to meet the standards to bid in Nepal's power projects and future projects online for Nepal's hydropower developments. So Satish, I would kindly request you to keep the presentation to about 15, max 20 minutes. So because we're running, we don't have the luxury of time.
But I have to acknowledge the speakers that have preceded me on the stage. Mr. Pradhan, Mr. Poon, are people I look up to. Every time I hear them speak, it's actually very inspiring. So thank you, Mr. Poon and Mr. Pradhan. So I represent the investment board, and my CEO spoke yesterday about the challenges and opportunities of investing in Nepal. So my presentation is really going to be very brief. I'll touch upon, a little bit more detail about what the investment board is about. There seems to be some misconception about what the board does. Does it make investments, or is it a facilitation agency? Things like that. So investment board was set up by statute in 2011. So we're a relatively new organization, and our mandate is primarily to facilitate and fast track large investments. It doesn't matter, it's agnostic to whether it's domestic or FDI. Our mandate is to fast track investments, particularly critical infrastructures like energy, transportation, and industries that support those sectors. So this is a brief outline of the presentation. So briefly, why IBN was established. I just talked about this. It really was, this whole idea of this institution is a genesis from the recognition that traditional models of delivering projects wasn't working out. That's not to say it's not happening in Nepal, or it wasn't happening in Nepal, but there was a recognition that we need new ways of delivering projects. It's a very high-level board, as you can see from this. I don't know if you can see that very clearly. It's the chair of the board is the Prime Minister, and he has along with him some key ministers and some of the top bureaucrats, including the Chief Secretary, the Governor of the Nepal Rashtra Bank, and the Vice Chair are part of the board. And the idea being is that decisions can be made very effectively and efficiently. In terms, we've been around 4 years, and for a new institution that was, initially just groping in the dark, I think we've come a long way. We've signed landmark agreements on 2 large hydropower projects, 900 megawatts, export-oriented, but they also have a domestic dimension to it. One of those principles is that Nepal will first meet its domestic demand and then export. Now that's easier said than done. I got 5 minutes, okay. But the way we've structured these agreements is Nepal does get, as a result of the competitive process, a significant amount of energy free of cost from these projects. It's about 200 megawatts from one, and about 100 megawatts from the other project. But in addition to this free electricity, we also have the option of buying additional power on commercial terms, right? And the challenge of buying, and Mr. Hart and our friends from Anyway will, have already highlighted this, is buying a product that matches with the demand or needs of its consumers. That's very challenging because of the profile of flow of water in our rivers. 5 minutes is up and we're done. Thank you very much.
And the Congress government, which was heading at that time, is the basic recipient of all the commissions that was
That's a very bold statement, but
defend it.
Yes, I will, sir. I'm a technocrat. I focus on the fundamentals of the project and the value of the project. I am actually not go out on a limb and or on a tangent on politically driven accusations. I think the PDA is a public document. If you wish to obtain a copy of it, you can submit a request to the investment board, and I'll let the record speak for itself.
When did you make it public?
I think the Commission on the Right to Information, Susna Ayog, has directed the idea to
Yes,
release
only after that you made it public.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
So you didn't want to make it
A
public?
very small question.
I think there was an understanding that such agreements, especially there's no rocket science, and really there's nothing to hide behind.
Nothing.
I think
Everyone knows about it. That's
sure,
the
sir.
problem.
So I'll let your
Okay, I have a very technical question.
yes.
So this is J Mandal. Your presentation just have confused me because in your presentation you showed that we may be requiring 6,000 megawatt of power for our own demand, and the total capacity of the 5 projects that you showed is coming 3,800 megawatt. Yeah, and all those 5 projects that you are going to perform, and for about 2 projects you already performed the PDA, and next 3 that will be also done on the basis of export oriented. So on one hand you are advocating that 6,000 megawatt will be for domestic use, and on the other hand you are advocating that 38,000 you are going to sign for PDA as export oriented projects. So that's one point. And the another point, there are 3 energies coming from Upper Karnali as well as Arun Third. And we have signed the PTA as per the evacuation of those 3 energies coming from dedicated transmission lines. So is there any plan or any steps moving further for planning of those dedicated transmission lines or not? Because it happened in the last that 1.5 crores of electricity to be imported from India from Tanakpur agreement. So it took almost 8 years to construct the line after the energy, import or free energy import according to Tanakpur agreement. So could you please elaborate on these 2 issues?
Sure. I'm sure as a concerned citizens of this country and people who are subject to such hardship because of the unreliable power, that's just a great question. And my answer is very simple. If NEA wants to buy power from all of these projects, even the ones on which we have signed PDAs, it can still do so today. But, as Mr. Bhatt will agree, we might want to buy 1,800 megawatts or additional 1,500 megawatts from Arun 3 and Upper Karnali. But what do we do with the excess? The potential liability that may accrue to NEA with the wet season surplus, right? That is the calculus that NEA makes. And we have communicated the provisions in the PDA under which Nepal can still buy, because none of these developers have actually contracted long-term agreements for offtake of these power in India yet. So if we want, the option is still there, but it has to be exercised. And you know what? These developers would love to sell this power in India, Nepal. Love to. They would jump at the opportunity. Because they won't even have to bother building a transmission line into India. And the additional headaches of trying to acquire right-of-way, acquisition of land, to build these dedicated transmission lines would not be their concern. They would just connect you to the nearest interconnection point. So the option is there if we want to exercise it. And that's what we've been saying. We are committed to meeting Nepal's domestic energy needs first. All right. Thank you very much.
Sorry, sir, that we're running actually a little bit out of time. So let's give a big hand to Mr. Burton. And then we come straight away to the next presentation. There are a couple of project showcases from Nepal Electricity Authority and also the private developers. So let me firstly introduce Mr. Leelannath Battery of the Nepal Electricity Authority to share with us some of the projects in the pipeline. And from now on, then each one of the speakers, let's try to be precise. Let's keep it in the 10 minutes time frame. So
I'm very much precise.
thank you very much.
start my presentation. Nepal's power system. You know, Nepal's power system is mostly hydro-based. Today's installed capacity is slightly more than 800 megawatt, of which 769 megawatt is hydro and 53 megawatt is thermal. And we have seasonal storage of only 92 megawatt. Peaking run-of-river system, 305 megawatt. Run-of-river system, 372 megawatt. And we have import from India, more than 300 megawatt at present. Because of hydro-based system and run-of-river system, we have distinct seasonal variation on generations. There is demand-supply mismatch, and excess of electricity is about 60% of the populations. We have bottlenecks on transmission line, and the distribution lines are long and poorly designed. Our power system performance is very low. We have very low load factor and high losses. So, you know, Nepal Electricity Authority is the public utility. It is responsible to generate, to transmit and distribute electricity in Nepal. The hydropower developed in Nepal in different modalities. Most of the projects are developed by government of Nepal through the executive agency NDA, utilizing multilateral and bilateral funding. NDA and the government of Nepal has also developed some of the projects by its own fund. After promulgation of Hydropower Development Policy and Electricity Act in 1992, private developers have also developed hydropower projects in Nepal, and there are some projects developed by foreign direct investment. Khimki, 60 megawatt, and Bhatakasi, 45 megawatt are developed from foreign direct investment. Similarly, national private developers have also developed some of the projects and is still developing and playing key role these days in developing small hydropower projects up to capacity of 10-25 megawatt. And this is the power development map of Nepal. Most of the projects are located in the central development region of Nepal. If you see, so the history of hydropower development, if you see, most of the projects that are developed by utilizing multilateral bilateral funding, and the major projects 144 megawatt was developed in 2003 megawatt, commissioned in 2003 megawatt. After that, Middle Marsandi came into operation in 2008, and after this, there are few projects. None of the projects are coming into operation from the government. So, we have different projects. We need to invest about $20 billion US in the next 10 years for generation project only to meet the national objective of generating 10,000 megawatt in the coming decade. So, there is opportunity for the investment. So, from all sectors, there is a conducive environment. Yesterday only, our Prime Minister during the opening ceremony has already put the government policy, the security for the investment for foreign developers. So there is opportunity to invest in hydropower projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bhattacharya. Sorry to have to cut short your presentation, but in any case, if any of our audience downstairs would be interested in the presentation that Mr. Bhattacharya just presented, so Mr. Bhattacharya is there, so we can discuss with him later on. And secondly, I would like to introduce Shir Singh Bhatt onto the stage with the also the Deputy Managing Director of Nepal Electricity Authority. So let's give a big hand.
Good afternoon again. I'm presenting the under construction generation projects of Nepal Electricity. Most of them have already been presented by Mr. Bhattacharya. I will be briefing because we are a public utility. We develop the projects, and the problems we encounter during the development of the projects I am presenting here so that these our experience and the problems encountered by us may be a pre-information for the developers or potential investors in future. So this is generation development in Nepal. This side is totally off-grid. In the off-grid, we have small hydro, mini and macro hydro, home solars, biomass and bagasse electricity generation from this, and captive diesel. These are all, they have their niche market, and these are off-grid generations. On the other side, this is total, this part is in-grid generation. In-grid generation, you have Nepal Electricity Authority generation plants and projects. NEA, Nepal Electricity Authority, its subsidiary and associate companies. These are developed in PPP model. This is the another pipe, and then IPPs, pure independent power producers. All these are connected to grid, and that is grid supply. So I am interested on only on that NEA and NEA PPP projects, NEA subsidiary and associate company projects. If you look at this NEA under construction, NEA is developing right now 4 projects. Only one Polykhani 3 as a storage cascade. And then NEA IPP, NEA PPP subsidiary and associate companies, these are developing around 7-8 projects, and the total capacity under construction through NEA and its subsidiary and associate company right now is 1046.8 megawatt, and it is believed that by 2020-21 all this will be commissioned in succession one after another. Now I am taking you through few projects. As I already told you that I will be telling you our experiences, especially the bad experiences that we have faced, we have problems we have encountered in these projects. The Samelia, this project is 30 megawatt PRR project, around 95% is completed. But the problems we faced various geological problems resulting in time and cost overrun. And these problems were hard rock in dam foundation, not as expected. We had to go very deep in the dam foundations. After excavations of the complete 4.6 kilometer tunnel, 843 meter got squeezed. The tunnel was completely, 4.6 kilometer tunnel was excavated, and then 843 meter of it got squeezed. Mud flow from nearby rivulet, Belgard, entered into the tunnel. And original location of powerhouse foundation was in alluvium, so it had to be shifted back by huge backslope cutting and its stabilization. And cavities were encountered on the sides of the vertical shaft. So all these kind of whatever geological problems could have been, we faced all these problems in this project. And Samelia can be taken as unique example of geological problems. This is the tunnel, squeeze tunnel. You know, this tunnel was excavated completely. After the squeezing, you can see the scene, how it got squeezed. All the rifts and all this. The other side also, mud flow after squeezing inside the tunnel. And this is treatment of the squeeze tunnel. We have around 60 to 66% squeezing is already treated. Now 243 meters is already left. So how we treated this squeezing? Because after the squeezing, there was an option. Could we take another route, or we can have another audit and take another route? But if the geology is the same, after some excavation, if we face the same problem in the same geology, then it will be again we have to come to the original question. So after long discussions, experts from the worldwide, it was decided no, we should treat the same squeeze channel. So then Upper Trishuli 3A project, about 45% of the work was completed, but unfortunately this project was progressing very rapidly, but unfortunately the earthquake damaged this project very seriously. The access road to headworks got completely damaged by making the headworks inaccessible. Huge landslides were triggered, construction material were damaged, all the heavy equipments got damaged. You can see there is a huge landslide from the left bank's side of the river, giving a potential danger to the headworks. This is near the inlet portal. Again, this side also, right hand side also, you have huge landslide from the uphill. You can see the access road. Hardly any part of the access road is left there. Everything is covered by the landslides. The access road is completely damaged. So this way, the Trishuli 3A project, all the problems were, triggered by the earthquake. And the Raughat, the only thing in Raughat is civil contract could not perform well, and we terminated the contract, and we are going for another contract. It's already published. So that's all I want to tell you about the 4 typical projects of Nepal Asia 30, where we encountered typical problems, and these problems were unique, and these problems give us a lesson. The lesson is the study. Geology, unlike physics, is not exact science. Since 100% geological exploration during study is not possible, it is a science of assumptions, probabilities, and estimations. However, a credible and dependable study minimizes the geological surprises, it saves cost and time overrun to a large extent. Even if it is early stage of project, highest importance should be given to a detailed and credible study. Structure. Underground structures are safer in the event of an earthquake. It is our learning that most of the underground structures were safe after this earthquake.
Okay, then let me have the honor to introduce you to invite Mr. Barman Popava, who is also with the Nepal Electricity Authority, and share with us the Tuliveri hydropower projects. Thank you very much.
My name is Raju Kokre. In fact, I'm not associated with any anymore. I served in here for a long time. I'm an engineer by training and been involved in energy sector in Nepal and South Asia for the last over 25 years. And I served in here for a long time. Now I have many roles. Being a developer, and as well as I represent Nepal Hydropower Association, which is a national chapter of International Hydropower Association, where I am a president right now. Today, we're going to present a project, potential project for investment opportunity. And I shall be presenting on behalf of the project developer base. And for further information and facilitation for project financing, EDC shall be helping the project proposal. This project is located in the western development region of Nepal, in Dolpa district, where the project area lies within 4 village development committees. The access to the project is from Nepalganj, which is the major commercial hub of Western Nepal. And from Nepalganj to the project site, the distance, road distance is about 220 kilometers, of which the first 160 kilometers is the blacktop standard, and the remaining 60 kilometers is under construction. And Nepalganj in turn is about 573 kilometers from Kathmandu. It is close to Indian city, Lucknow, which is about 185 kilometers far from Nepalganj. So the road from Nepalganj to Chaurazari, this part of the road is blacktop, and from Chaurazari, the road passes through a project planned by the government of Nepal. It's a Nalsingar project, and further it has been planned to reach Dunai, the district headquarters of Dolpa district, which unfortunately is the only district headquarters in Nepal that is not that is to be connected with the national road network. So Nepal government has put high priority for the construction of this part of the road, and they have already deployed the Nepal army. And then there is the plan as per the recently published budget is to complete this project in the next 1 year or so. Various project alternatives were studied during the feasibility study phase within the boundary of the specified boundary, which is delineated by this yellow line. In fact, number of options were studied. Sorry, this is very poor to read it, but the options with long headrest and short tailrest, as well as long tailrest and short headrest options were studied. So this is the final layout plan of the project, where approximately 54-meter high concrete dam has been proposed across Veri River, and the text structures, descending basing and address tunnel, source tank, drop shaft and powerhouse, all planned on the right bank of Veri River. There will be total 6 underground descending cables, 16.5 kilometer long address tunnel. And the underground power station. So I will just skip you slides that gives the details of the structures, and I'll just try to mention some important ones. For example, the date age of the project is 433 meter, and installed capacity would be 530 megawatts, where 6 units of belted turbines and the power stations will be housed. Total annual generation in the production will be 2,122 gigawatt hour. A 220 kV transmission line will be built by the project, which will be a double circuit line. Total distance to the nearest proposed substation at Chaurazari will be 76 kilometers. And since the government of Nepal has plan to implement this Nalsingar project with high priority, so the total distance of transmission line distance up to this project will be 40 megawatts. Even that project, that transmission facilities will be available by the time this Tuliveri project is commissioned. I'll just present a few photographs of the site. This is the catchment area, the view of the upper Caspian, and this the location of the dam structure. There are few photographs of site investigation during the geophysical investigation, because we are considering export opportunities for this project. Thank you so much for your attention. For further information, you may please contact me, or you may contact EDC for investment or any other information or any other detail. Thank you.
So next invite Mr. Kieran Hanson up to the stage, who is the director of Sanima Hydro and Engineering in Nepal, and who is also director of Hydro Plant in the UK. Started his career as a turbine design engineer and now has more than 30 years of experience in the hydropower sector. So Mr. Hanson is going to share with us the Upper Tamor hydropower project. Let's give a big hand to Mr. Hanson.
Good afternoon. Is everybody still awake? I'm going to be brief. I have got 27 slides. I'm going to do 15 seconds a slide in 7 minutes. Will that do? Right. You may start your watch. So, the hydro plant in the UK and Sanima in Nepal have around 100 staff and many years of hydro experience. If you haven't already done so, please visit our stand. End of that advertising. Sanima, one of the recent projects they've completed is 22 megawatts plus 7 megawatt cluster in 2 schemes. I'll tell you a little bit more about those in a minute. They are, the discussion that I want to talk to you about is a little bit about the Tamor Basin statistics, in particular about the Upper Tamor project, and in particular, again, I want to talk to you about the challenges facing hydropower development. We've heard a lot about it already, but let me do a little bit more. So, Tamor Basin statistics, there's 32 projects, 1,500 odd megawatts, including government schemes, of which 12 are in license applications, 6 in construction, and 2 of them are the Sanima Group projects. That is the Middle Tamor and the Upper Tamor 415 megawatts. For what it's worth, the BPC Kabeli A is also in the Tamor Basin. The project location is in the east of Nepal, and if I draw your attention to, I can do it here, this is Upper Tamor, Middle Tamor, here. Did that work? I hope it did. A little bit about the project details. The Upper Tamor is this headworks going down to that powerhouse, picked up again in the Middle Tamor scheme down to that powerhouse there. So 415 megawatts here, 54 megawatts there. This one will be built first. Lots of statistics. I hope you have your fill of statistics after today. There's lots of them there. There's some more there. I will test you on it later on. A little bit on the headworks. Fairly traditional sort of layout. Even though it's a relatively large scheme, the upper works are traditional with a dam, a desilting basin, and a head pond in advance of the tunnel. The head race tunnel itself is relatively large, but it's not that long, at over 8 kilometers. And includes a surcharge. A cavern layout for the powerhouse is currently envisaged, and this would have 5 Pelton units. Clearly more detailed design is needed, but, sorry, am I going in the right? I'm so sorry. Is that better now? Yes, that's much better. Yeah, so a cavern layout for the powerhouse is currently envisaged, and this will have 5 Pelton units. Clearly, more detailed design is needed soon. This is what I want to talk to you about, which is the challenges. The transmission financing program. Major transmission projects we've heard a lot about in the last, earlier today, and I won't spend too much time on it, except to say that there was options for the connection lines to India. But what I really want to talk to you about is there is an alternative, and the alternative is about the way of working with grids. And a particular strategy that we've introduced in the north of Scotland is about sharing of grid costs. So this site is about 600 kilometres north of London in the northwest of Scotland. There are 32 projects where we have been trying to upgrade the grid and also do about 100 kilometres of new grid. This is quite a challenging thing. There are 32 individual projects, 15 separate developers, and it's taken about 3 years of herding cats so far to try to make it work. The benefits, though, are significant. All of the projects are made possible. That's significant. And some have seen up to a 2/3 reduction in the cost of their connections as a result of it. The next challenge is finance, and we've heard a lot about that as well in the last couple of days. There is a great good market for this funding of smaller schemes in Nepal. However, once the projects get bigger, then the larger volumes of equity and debt are required. These are fair numbers, 200 million of equity required. That's significant enough. Typical project cost summary, and in due course the Sarima Group will be looking for equity partners, but I'll tell you more what we're doing beforehand. The next challenge is about the project program. Related to finance, it is program. Time equals money, as they say. In Nepal, some things can take a long time. Briefly, we'll talk about my cluster, which I mentioned at the start, the next 3 projects, and then the timescale for up to more. So here we are in 2016. Somewhere here, there we are. 2016. My projects were originally conceived in the year 2000. And so I understand exactly what Mr. Patak talked about, the engine running on the runway, and certainly sympathise with this sentiment. However, to be fair, construction only started in 2011, so it was only 5 years to build in reality. The next 3 projects, now in 2016, and the next 3 projects that are in design and financing are well underway, is Middleton Moor 54 megawatts and Lower Liku 28 megawatts. Construction should start in 2017, with the 3rd scheme, Junkola, a couple of years later. Middleton Moor is likely to be completed first, and then the Upton Moor scheme starts. As I said, things take a wee time. I've just been given my last minute's warning, and I think I'm ahead of time. So in conclusion, there is a huge potential and a huge demand. There are significant challenges in transmission, finance, programme, and indeed the resource as well. But technically, we can do it, no problem. Thank you very much.
Presenting as a showcase to this August gathering about the transmission line projects, which is going to be held very soon, as envisaged by our transmission system master plan. Of course, NEA has been already in the pathway for developing the transmission lines at this junction when Nepal itself is giving importance for transmission line. And as you know that transmission line is sometimes it's bottleneck. For that matter, NEA being a government organization and as a constructor of transmission line, so but if you could not give the delivery at right time for the developers, because it's a very excruciating for them if the transmission lines are not built and not built at time. So that's a very crucial thing for them. Similarly, NEA, when we make the transmission lines at in a given time, that it is Xavier also as well. So we are in between Bath and Xavier. We take opportunity for this presentation for the new transmission lines which have been envisaged in our transmission line master plan. And as you know that, I think everybody knows that this transmission line plan has envisaged for 20 years from 2015 to 2035. So we don't have much time. So I will embark into the forthcoming projects. And so for that matter, so I will just skip the existing transmission lines. Just for your information, where is this one? Indicator. Do we have the indicator? So anyway, so existing and under construction, if you see, okay. So if we add on this existing and under constructions, it's about 5,000 kilometers for 66 kV, 132 and 220, and then the outputs are going 400 kV. And we are going to build tens of thousands of, about 21,000 kilometers of transmission line by 2035. And that I'm going to start it out soon. So it's a gigantic task that we are taking, and we are taking as a challenge as well. So, so this is the map, but it's not so clear. So it shows that it's a mosaic of transmission lines. It is spaced over east to west, north to south, and we have interconnections as well. We are going to have the interconnection with India as well. Of course, we do have some interconnection at 132 kV. Of course, there are three numbers, but we have already built up one 400 kV transmission line and that has already in operation, and there are other 4 and 5. So together we are going to have the 6 interconnections in the future. So here, in this master plan, so if you see from the investment point of view, by 2035, we are going to pump for this development of this transmission line by $5 billion. And they have been spread from 2015 onward to 2035, and it has been given as a snapshot in every 5 years. So, and much of the development of these transmission lines involved, this will be taken care of by 2035. Of course, it will go up to 2035, but major chunk of the investment will be within 2025. So it's about here, this and this. If we add up, it's about 80% of this $5 billion. So it's about $3.9 billion, and this will take care of much of this 220 kV and 400 kV transmission lines. The 466 kV we are not taking off at all. So if this is from the investment point of view, this is a snapshot. So in order to develop these transmission lines, we have broken down into 6 zones for study purpose as well. So instead of going in the detail, just I wanted to show you that how these transmission lines are being developed, will be developed, and it will cater for the hydropowers. So if you start from east, there are Koshi corridors, Kaveri corridors. I think just now there are this upper tower has been already presented here. So, and there are many other hydropowers as well. So this is the Kaveri corridor, which is already under construction, and that will cater to a certain extent. And beyond that, when there will be further power projects come up, then we will have one more transmission line over here. That will be called the Koshi corridor. It's the Solo corridor. And similarly, we have here the Koshi corridor. Koshi corridor is already in the pipeline. I think the contract has been already awarded, and that will take care of major chunk of the power plants, generation. And in future also, when there will be, by 2025, when many other power plants will come up, then we will again stand up another 400 kV. Now it's a 220 kV transmission line is going on. So in the Koshi corridor, there will be another 400 kV. So similarly, in the this we call it the zone 5, that's the Kimti, Tamakoshi, Dudkoshi corridors. Similarly, we do have this ongoing Solu corridor, and so similarly we will have another the 400 kV line as well. Okay, to like suppose there are many other hydropowers. So for evacuation of these lines, there will be 400 kV line apart from the ongoing 220 kV transmission line. So we have Kimti, Tamakoshi, Dudkoshi corridors, and the details on these corridors will be available to, for everybody that can be approached to us, and we can provide all the information for those who are seeking the information. And in Zone 4, that is in Kathmandu area, we have Trishuli corridors, and for Trishuli corridor as well, we have already developed 220 kV transmission lines, and in future there will be a 400 kV transmission line from Etola to Etola to Novisha, and Novisha it will go to the westward. So in India through this future cross-border 400 kV transmission lines from the western part, it's Ataria to Bareilly, Lampi to Bareilly, Kohalpur to Lucknow, New Budwal to Gorakhpur, Dalgewal to Muzaffarpur. Of course, there will be another second cross-border, and Inorwa, that is Johodi to Purnia for 400 kV transmission lines. For that, we have been already discussing with the Government of India through Joint Steering Committee, and in the coming next month, we are going to have the further deliberation on that. So this way, his interconnection with India as well as the domestic transmission line will help to evacuate the most of the power that which we have envisaged, that 10,000 megawatt in 10 years, as well as the other power evacuations needed for the outside, those which have been already done in the PDA, and as well as for the forthcoming the envisaged power plant. So thank you.
Thank you very much again, Mr. Malanda. So next, let me invite Mr. Moti Badua Purwan onto the stage, sharing us with the progress that will be made for the announcing our hydropower projects. Please give a big hand to Mr. Purwan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants and guests. My name is Moti Badua, Executive Director of Nalsingar Storage Hydropower Project. On behalf of Nalsingar Hydropower Project Development Committee and project family itself, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you here at this summit. In fact, I got my garment in 2014 from Ministry of Energy with the designation of Joint Technical Secretary. And Now it is my fortunate I am here again with you at this summit, representing as the executive director of one of the significant storage hydropower project in Nepal. We have a very short time. I think I will not be able to take more enough. I will go through short status of the project. Well, there are different institutional models for the study of hydropower projects in Nepal. Some are area model, the OEE model, private sector model, company model, government owned, fully government owned model, so and so. One of the fast track model for storage project is development committee model, which is fully owned by government of Nepal. The main objective of this institutional model is to reduce energy crisis in Nepal very significantly by government ownership and intervention. The brilliant output of this institutional model are Kulikhani and Marsanti hydropower project, which are in front of us today. With this mission and vision, the government of Nepal has constituted Nalsingar Hydropower Project Development Committee in 2012-13 pursuant to Clause 3 of Development Committee Act 1956. The first permission date is September 2012, and we have made successive amendment according as per necessity. In February 2013 and December 14 and so on. The identification and feasibility study of storage project was carried out during 1999-2000 to identify potential storage hydropower project in the country so that the project could be implemented to fulfill the increasing power demand of peak power in the integrated Nepal power system. Nalsingar storage hydroelectric project was considered as one of the attractive projects among the stream and ranked storage projects during feasibility study in 2001 conducted by Nepal Electricity. Among identified 93 potential storage projects, Nalsingar storage project, hydroelectric project has been one of the selected projects recommended. Project Development Department, PDD Engineering Service, Nepal Electricity has conducted the feasibility study of Nalsingar storage project in 2012. Bring this project for operation, which will significantly reduce the energy crisis in Nepal. And so far today, the work which has been completed, here it is, I am going to read out. Automatic installation of automatic and manual discharge basin has been completed. Similarly, with the automatic weather station around the reserve area has been completed. Market survey for spare energy, inventory survey of land and property, including socio-economic baseline survey, preliminary construction power survey, master plan of building and tank, watershed management study, financing modality study, mathematics survey, preliminary hydrological assessment, and opening of this access road drive. And land acquisition around 531 property of land has been completed. And there are many ongoing activities, and I am not going to present this. I think time is over. Okay. And despite the benefit and goodness of the project, there are many problems and challenges. May I have 1 minute? Okay. The minimization of risk associated with hydrology, geology, and social system. These are the problems in this project. Similarly, arrangement of financial resources required to accomplish the project is another challenge. selection of the appropriate contract implementation modality, formulation of the appropriate legal institutional framework to involve local people to participate in financing of the project, and rehabilitation and resettlement of the people affected by the project is the problem, unique problem and challenge in this project. However, there are several strengths and opportunities in the project system. This is highly prioritized candidate project to solve current energy crisis before. The proposed storage project has devices generating 410 megawatt years, which is one of the suitable projects to meet the seasonal peak demand of the INPS and regional power system balancing system grid of the power. High-rated available expert is upgraded storage that is maximum gross rate 698 meter available within 80 kilometers storage. The reservoir area measured for 200 meter high dam is only 6.3 kilometers square, and the sediment concentration of this one is very small as compared to other projects of the same scale. The project area is accessible from water up to the powers. There is no visible riparian water saving issues, neither downstream or upstream. So shall I stop?
Like 30 seconds.
Okay. And similarly, national and international private investor, multinational funding agencies like World Bank and Asian Development, they are quite interested to invest in this project. Okay, and just conclusion, I don't have time. I'll just show some of the, and there are field supervision monitoring by the project system, very actively going on. We can have a lot of interaction while promoting the project. You can see the dam side, power side, district headquarters, government and non-government agencies. We have supervision of the access road. You can see here river grazing station, and this construction road by our engineers and senior engineers. You can see here construction of the building offices. Every activity are going on simultaneously, parallelly, with detailed project preparation, report preparation. And this is one of the organization chart. We have plenty of manpower, institutional arrangement, maybe we have to improve in the future. And thank you very much. And if you need to detail my presentation, you can find from this, I think from the organization. So thank you very much again for your time.
Thank you very much. So, thank you. Sorry. Okay, we have two last speakers presenting the Budi Gandaki and also the Nepal project. So let me have the honor to invite Mr. Gopal Basne onto the stage for the Budi Gandaki project. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry, due to some technical issues that we're going to solve this presentation and save for the last one. And now, can I invite Mr. Achut Gimari onto the stage to share with us the progress for the Tanahu Power Project. Thank you very much. Let's give a big hand to Mr. Gimari.
Good afternoon. I'm just give me I'm working in Nepal electricity authority and now limited in Thermal Hydropower project. And I'm working in Thermal Hydropower project since 5 years. Due to lack of time, I will start my presentation. An overview of Thermal Hydropower project. First of all, outline of the presentation. Introduction, objective of the project, location of project, salient features, financial indicators, project financing, social and environmental self-policy. Introduction. The pre-feasibility study was conducted by NEA in 2001 and its updated feasibility study was carried out by JICA in the grant assistance in a period from February 2005 to June 2007. Installed capacity of 122 megawatt was identified in pre-feasibility study and later it was optimized to 127 megawatt in the upgraded feasibility study. And next, installed capacity of 140 megawatt maximum was established in detailed engineering study. This detailed engineering study was carried out by Electric Power Company Limited, Nepal, in 2000, and it was completed in 2015. Thermal Hydropower project is owned by Thermal Hydropower Limited, which was established in 2012 as a subsidiary company of Nepal Electricity Authority. It has 100% equity share of NEA and it is a special purpose vehicle to execute Thermal Hydropower project. The project site is located at 150 km west of Kathmandu on Sethi River near Damoli of Tanu district. And the generator power will be evacuated through 220 kV double circuit transmission line and new Bharat substation. The estimated annual energy is 587.5 gigawatt hour, out of which primary energy will be 266.2 gigawatt hour and secondary energy will be 319.5 gigawatt hour. This is for first 10 years and after 10 years, due to the stabilization of the river bed, the energy generator will be decreased by 16%. It is decreased by 60%. And the power plant will be equipped with a special feature of sediment processing system, which will be the first type adopted in Nepal. And the construction work will be started in 2017 and it will be completed at the end of 2021. The main objective is to provide the energy to the national grid to have some power crisis, and to meet this objective, Thermal Hydropower project will construct 140 megawatt power plant, including 220 kV transmission line to evacuate the generator power. Also, it will electrify the 17 BDC of Tanu district and community development and resettlement of project development also. This is the project site which lies at the middle of the country, and this is the dam site, and this is the tunnel, and this is the power house which will be completely underground in the right bank of the Sethi River. And this is the confluence of Sethi and Madi River. This is the longitude and latitude of project location. Project site lies in the tributaries of Sethi River. Catchment area is 1502 square kilometer, and power house will be 3 km upstream of Sethi and Madi confluence, and it will be 3 km downstream of the confluence. And gross storage capacity of the reservoir is 295.1 million cubic meter. And the design distance of the plant is 127.4 cubic meter per second. The project financing. The project is being funded as per below: ADB 150 million US dollar, JICA 183 million US dollar, European Investment Bank 85 million US dollar, government of Nepal through NEA, $87 million. And the loan agreement already concluded. It was in 2014. And ADB loan will be used for construction of Heroes Dam, road electrification, transmission line, environmental and social safeguard program, and project supervision consultant. And JICA fund will be utilized for waterway and power portion. And government of Nepal / NEA fund will be used for construction infrastructure like access road, dam, construction power line acquisition, etc. Heroes area. This is the RCC is overseen state river construction constructed by the project for access road. This is the access road side under construction. This is the access road to our power house. This is the camp area behind this area, and this is the substation for construction power for technical substation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. So we're coming to the last session of the conference. So let me invite Mr. Gimari, Mr. Gopal Basne back onto the stage for the Buddhi-Gandaki project. Thank you very much.
Okay, good evening to all of you. Myself, Gopal Basne, working in Buddhi-Gandaki hydropower project as an executive director. Before going through my presentation, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the organizer for providing me this opportunity to be here to provide some source of information regarding Buddhi-Gandaki hydropower project. The contents of my presentation is background and objective of the project, project location, project information, project performance, environmental and social impacts, downstream impact, project cost, project returns and benefit, project implementation strategy. So I think most of you have received the brief note on Buddhi-Gandaki, which was distributed this morning. So I will highlight some major parameters in my presentation. So within relevant time, I will finish the presentation. Let us discuss about the background of the project. In 1978, ISPEC identified this project as run of the river. They recommended this project as run of the river of capacity 200 to 300 megawatt. Thereafter, various level of studies were carried out by Nepal Electricity Authority. They prepared pre-feasibility as well as feasibility study report also. Then, an international consultant, Tractor Engineering SA France, was hired for the preparation of detailed engineering design report, environmental study report, as well as detailed feasibility report for this project. And the consultant carried out extensive field investigation, including geotechnical studies, hydrological, as well as other hydrological model tests and other required investigation at site. After completion, all the investigation, the detailed report on Buddhi-Gandaki, detailed engineering design and drawing is ready at present. Similarly, tender document for this project is ready. And EIA report is in the process of approval. It is lying in the Ministry of Population and Environment at present. And the project location is, it is around, it is on the way to Pokhara. There is Benighat. It is around 80 kilometers from Kathmandu. 78 kilometers road at Benighat and 2 kilometers from Benighat to dam site. So dam site is easily approachable by vehicle. As the catchment of this area is total 5,000 square kilometers. This is Snowfield River. That's right. It lies from Himalayan region to middle mountain as well as in plain area. And out of this 5,000 square kilometers, 30% catchment area lies in Tibet. And this project is seasonal storage type of project. And the total storage capacity of this project, this is dam side, and the total storage capacity of this project is 4.4 billion cubic meter gross storage, and live storage capacity is 2.2 billion cubic meter. And the existing bed level of the river is 320 meter, whereas the full reservoir level is proposed for 540 meter. And the total project probable maximum flood design for this project is 9,800, and the sediment yield is 9.8 million cubic meter per year. The storage space occupied over a period of 50 years by sediment is 7%, and after 100 years is around 30%. And the dam and abandoned structures of this project is double curvature as dam. This is recommended for this project, and its height is 263 meter. And the construction dimension, two construction dimension tunnels have been proposed, and their diameter is 12 meter. And 20 years medical plot for these diversion tunnels have been used, and the total distance for diversion is 3,070 cubic. And there are 6 intake and 6 headrest tunnel and 6 spillways. And turbine is Francis turbine, vertical axis, and 6 unit turbine, and the discharge for 112 cubic per 6 units, and installed capacity 1200 megawatt. It generates annually 4,250 gigawatt hour energy. And this is the performance, project performance. The wet energy as well as dry energy have been mentioned in this table. And the peaking for 11 hours during dry season is around 1200 megawatt.
Company for supporting this summit. NEA being the largest energy developer in Nepal and the only utility company was expected to be a pivotal actor to this summit, and we were very lucky to have their overwhelming participation throughout the summit cycle as speakers, panelists, exhibitors, and as well as a host of our upcoming trade missions to the office and project sites. Now moving on, we were graced by some very interesting presentations. We are indebted to all the speakers for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions over the last 2 days. I would also like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the panelists and moderators for enlightening us with very rich and in-depth discussions on different energy topics that I am sure would provide many clues to our country's policymakers and private sector. I convey thanks to all distinguished foreign delegates who have come from distant countries to attend this summit. I hope you have found this event worthwhile, and we wish you all the best in finding right business matches, and hope to see new partnerships being forged and many deals being sealed. Many thanks to our sponsors, namely Agrico, the conference sponsor, DFDL, the associate sponsor, NGI, the presentation sponsor, Dragon Capital, the cocktail sponsor, and our local sponsors, Nepal Bank and NMB Bank. I would also like to thank our exhibitors, Mobile, WebTech, Mekamidi, FPP, China International Water and Electric Corporation, Chongqing, New Century Electric Company Limited, Litos, Stroh, Power, MIDL, Cargill, Gugler, ICTC Energy, Vanguard, TDPS, Multiconsult, Cinema Hydro, and Engineering App Power Private Limited. Investment Board of Nepal, Nepal Electricity Authority, Energy Development Council, and Wind Power Nepal. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to our distinguished session chairs, Mr. Surinath Upadhyay, former Chief Commissioner of CIA, and Secretary General of Jal Srot Vikas Sanstha and EDC Advisory Panel member. Her Excellency Nancy Telling, the Head of Delegation of the European Union to Nepal. I would also like to thank to Mr. Suman Basnal for being Master of Ceremony on the first day, and big thank you to all the friends from media for accepting our invitation to participate in the event. Thank you to Yak and Yazi Hotel and its amazing staff for running the facilities smoothly throughout the entire event. Well, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling several months ago. it requires planning in the bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of Energy Development Council and New Venture, who know their job and are result-oriented. A special applause to the summit director, Mr. Kusal Guru, who is an executive committee member of EDC, Itnuma Subha, who is executive manager of EDC, and other EDC colleagues for their relentless effort. The managing director of New Venture and his entire team for conceptualizing this summit, and more importantly for traveling all the way from China to Nepal and for believing that our country is a future battery house of South Asia. On this note, I would like to announce official closure of the event, and once again thank you all for being with us this evening. It has been a great experience, great pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arati. So last, I have two things I want to do a short announcement. First is about the presentation slides. Everybody is asking for that. So we're going to send a link to all of you guys. Just make sure that you give your name cards at the reception desk, so you receive an email in about 2 days' time, then with the downloading links for all the presentation documents. So this is one thing. And the second thing is that tomorrow we're going to have a trade mission, paying a visit to some of our major supporters, like Investment Board of Nepal, like NEAs, and some other concerned organizations in Nepal. So if you're interested to, we still have a couple of slots available. So if you're interested in joining us tomorrow, please ask the receptionist, go to the reception desk asking for the details. So thank you very much again for staying to the end of the event. So I wish you, every single one of us, a great success in the foreseeable future in Nepal. Thank you very much.